So fun fact about Torri, we're back on the bathroom facts. She will unroll the entire, oh, Derek.
What did you do?
He walks by, does a jazz slap with his hands up.
Guys,
Okay.
we're back in the fishbowl and things happen on the other side of this glass. It's too much.
It is so
and
hard for us
Jaclyn's
to
going to tell a
focus.
ridiculous story about how I don't roll up the toilet paper properly, which is a lie. There's no right way to roll up toilet paper.
No, it's not the way you roll it up, it's the way that you unroll it completely. Like whenever she leaves the bathroom, the entire roll of toilet paper will be like on the ground, trailing.
What can I say?
And it's just dirty. It's like, then you're gonna use that toilet paper that's been sitting on the ground. Like
I don't mean for it to go onto the
how does it
literal
unroll
ground.
that much though? I don't get it.
Because I need a lot for coverage of space. I don't know.
It makes no sense. She is an absolute disaster in the bathroom in every sense.
Well, welcome back to Poddy Talk, the podcast where we shit talk ourselves.
Can you believe that we forgot to do that last week? I'm Jack.
And I'm Tor. You literally
Barely
kind
made
of
it
just
through.
messed it up again. I know, that was almost shocking. I think we were like overwhelmed being in the studio. We just were under pressure, so we didn't
We
know.
only have one consistent thing we say during this podcast,
and we didn't even do it. Wow, that is our worst performance up to date.
Crazy.
Well,
Have we told them about the episode, the first episode that we shot that we lost? Because we're doing some digging and we are going to recover this episode.
Yeah, I don't know how much we said in the last episode, but we had actually already shot our first episode the week previous, and then Jaclyn lost the footage.
And that's when we were interfering with the live TV shows. I think we mentioned it a little bit last week, but the more we marinate on just the whole situation that happened, the more we've decided that we need to somehow recover this footage.
I think it's worth it. Also, just even for the memory bank, I feel like having those funny
my
videos
God.
is so worth having. So I think we're going to do it.
Speaking of memories, you were away this past weekend.
How was your weekend?
You're just asking
Take it
that so
away.
you can talk about your weekend. My weekend was, what was my weekend?
What did you do without me here in
Oh,
the city?
just literally training for that marathon alone, which I don't know how you're gonna catch up because you've been missing too many.
Really? How far did you run?
14K.
Oh, wow, that's so interesting. Yeah, I
But
ran.
you were living a better weekend. Tell me about yours.
Yeah, I was in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. What was that?
I was in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
And things just got so wild. I just cannot even begin to explain it. I mean, I guess in your 20s, I've realized you just kind of have to embrace it, that part of life, like the party, because
I've stopped embracing
I
it.
know, but I think I'm just still there. And so I'm like, it's fine, because I think I will settle down at some point. It's just not today. And it wasn't
Not anytime
yesterday
soon.
either. But no, Vegas was great. So I'm trying to think of some funny stories. So obviously the first night we went to
Wait,
Calvin
so why
Harris.
were you there in Vegas?
Yeah, it was my best friend Madison's 21st birthday. And yeah, we stayed in this gorgeous Revolve suite. Like we had 8 girls. It was insane. And the first night we went to go see Calvin Harris. Calvin Harris is so tall. I don't know if everyone knows that that's true, but
How tall is he?
it's shocking how tall he is.
Especially compared to you.
Well, yeah, and it was cool because we ended up, like, we had a bit of a connect there, so we ended up basically, like, our booth, like, our bottle booth was right behind the stage, like, behind the DJ booth. So we had this great location, and we had this personal security guard, and he was so intense. He goes, oh, do you need to use the bathroom? And I said, yeah, and he held my hand and escorted me through the club to get me to the bathroom, waited outside the door, and then walked me back to the booth.
Like, that's kind of amazing,
we were
though.
literally treated like pristine gold. And then
Wait, that is crazy.
I
You should
know.
have asked for a piggyback ride. And
oh
he
my
just,
god,
like,
he
barrels
was
through
so
the crowd.
tall too. He was so tall, and so that was
Wait,
super fun.
Calvin Harris or the security guard?
Wait, no, the security guard. The security guard was really tall,
Like
but
Calvin
so was
Harris
Calvin.
personally walked you to the bathroom?
But I have to say, like, I don't listen to a ton of, like, sort of DJ techno vibes.
So you were undeserving of the experience.
Well, I feel the opposite. Like, it literally introduced me to a world I didn't know I needed. Like, I just had the most fun, and I realized, like, maybe also Vegas is the perfect scene for it because it's kind of like the big party and the big drops are so fun and, like, you're just dancing and,
everyone's
the best
just
time.
down to have a good time.
But the funny part was that it was a 6 a.m. like wake up for me that day in Toronto, but obviously Vegas is a 3-hour time difference because I flew the morning of.
This was the first day.
This was the first day, and I had continued through the day. Like, it was like 6 a.m. Toronto, and then I just continued through the day. So by the time I'm at Calvin Harris, it's like 2 in the morning.
But
so
really
feels like 5 in the morning for me. So then the girls had all these videos where I fell asleep at the booth, like during Calvin Harris.
Like sitting up?
No, like I was sitting up, and then there's a video of me sitting, and I'm sleeping, but then I'm like bopping along to the music. It's so embarrassing.
Wait, that's so funny.
Madison was cute. She just woke me up, and I was like, yo, I should leave. So I actually left, like, not early that night. It's not like it was early. It was still 2:30 in the morning, but the other girls stayed. They were all from LA, so they were not jet lagged. The second day was like so lit up. We went to Chaos, like that sort of day club, and then Marshmello, the DJ, was there, and we had this booth literally sitting right outside of, like, basically it's like the DJ and then us, like we were right on stage, and we literally, like, Madison got photos with him, like we were like just chilling with him, and like it was so insane.
Wait, were you hanging out with him without the marshmallow head on?
Of course not. So we were saying this, we're like, you know, like you think someone is hot, but you don't know. You know what I mean?
Wait,
like,
you know that I've met him.
Like face off?
Yes.
What?
I literally had to I can't talk about it.
No, you have to be fucking kidding.
No, it was here in this building.
No, that cannot be true.
It was last MBAs. They go, hey, do you want to meet Marshmello? He's just like, whatever.
Wait, what? I thought the whole thing was that no one can meet him with his head off. Is he hot?
I literally cannot say anything.
Just say, is he hot? Just say, is he hot?
I can't.
Dude.
I signed a piece of paper, Torri.
I understand. I'm just asking, visually, is he hot? That's all I want to know.
I cannot confirm nor deny. I cannot say
it. Hot? Say it. Dude.
I'm going to get sued. I'm not going to get sued by Marshmello. Okay,
I'll just say, scale of a 1 to a 10, a number, please.
I cannot answer these questions.
Oh, what color hair does he have?
I can't literally say.
Okay, but hotness is objective, so I think you can say if you think he's hot. That's objective. No one, someone else could say no, and you could say yes.
Torri,
I cannot believe you're leaving me like this. It's potty talk.
Off camera?
No, it's potty talk.
There is no way this is going on camera.
Jesus, I can't believe I didn't know that you met him.
I can't believe that you didn't know that either.
Wow, that actually changes the game, and the fact that you're not even telling me if he's hot or not is so annoying.
Hot or not.
Wow. Okay. Well, anyways, we met
I didn't mean to
hot or not.
I didn't mean to outshine your Marshmello story.
That's crazy. And then it was so fun. But anyways, yeah, that was great.
Was that the day I saw pictures and you guys all had like cute bikinis and like little cover-ups on?
Yeah, that was like cute. The cover-up. Because it was like beach vibes, but then you're not actually like in the water. Yeah. So it's like somewhere in between. And then that night this is a funny story because we were supposed to go and see Travis Scott, but it was the first night of his residency in Vegas.
Was Kylie there with
the
baby?
I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but I mean, it was the first night, and obviously that's a big deal for Travis. So it was kind of like insane at this club that we had, again, like a booth hookup at. So when we walked in, our booth was unfortunately like not even like in the club. Like it was like outside.
What does that mean?
Like there was like an outside portion of the club around like a pool, but then like the doors were open and then you can go inside the club. But obviously that's not ideal if you're trying to see a concert because we were way too far from the stage. We're like, we can barely see anything. So we actually ended up leaving Travis Scott just because we were like, we're not going to be able to get, like once he came on, it would have been packed in there, and it was only midnight. And okay, I have a real question. Why do artists go on at 2:30 in the morning in Vegas? 2:30. I mean, I can
How do they stay alive
that's what I'm saying.
for
Like,
that schedule?
I was dying. Like by the time we got to the next club that we went to, like that night, because we left Travis, it was Big Sean. And I was, again, sort of like falling asleep. So I left. Like, I don't know if I'm like 80 years old on the inside or if I genuinely was jet lagged, but I died.
It's also a lot. Like, people don't understand the wear and tear. Like,
there was a lot.
Having fun comes at a cost.
But I almost, what is that called when people just randomly fall asleep?
Sleeping?
No.
Like the Kanye naps?
No, but like, oh, I was taking Kanye naps, if that's what it's called. Because then the next day at DJ Snake, I fell asleep with my visor over my head, literally beside DJ Snake. Like,
what does DJ Snake look like?
Can't recall, to be quite honest.
Cannot confirm or deny.
Can't confirm or deny.
Hot
Very
or
similar
not.
to you and Marshmello. But no, I like
Wait, does
had
DJ
this
Snake
visor
wear
the last
headpiece? Or is he?
I don't remember. I don't know.
I have no idea.
That was the day that the mojitos were flowing for me.
Yeah, I also have lots of questions. I did see a post of yours. You were also sending me interesting videos out of context, but I did see a giant, like, bucket of beverage with 8 million straws in it.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Seemed unsanitary, but looked like a great time.
Yeah, so they have all these, like, communal drinks in Vegas. I mean, like, only if you order them.
Right.
But they're meant to be, like, scooped out and put in your own glass, but they were massive. And, like, $400, like, for, like, those massive...
And, like, there was massive pancakes that
I will say, though, it is true that, like, when you're a girl in Vegas, like, you don't pay for anything. I don't know what that is. I literally think I spent $4.99 the whole weekend, and it was on the McDonald's breakfast I had to eat coming home.
On the way home.
Yeah.
Damn.
But overall, I would say great trip. And then I actually fell asleep also at the dinner on the last night. Like, this is what I mean. Like, I had a sleeping issue. But I think it's because you're, like, day partying, you're, like, in the sun, and then you, like, kind of go out at night. Like, you're never really...
Can we
resting,
talk about
but I will
the term?
say no one was hungover. You know how they say like they like push oxygen into the air?
They pump it into the air so you can stay awake.
So legit. Like
so
you
don't
feel
ever crash.
good. I mean, clearly it wasn't helping with my crashing, but it was helping with just like feeling good.
Were people getting annoyed with you falling asleep? You're like, get up, Torri!
In retrospect, I think there was some negativity from the group. Like, I will say, when I left, I go, that was maybe like bad on my part that
I would have been annoyed if at every location.
I know. I feel bad for Madison mostly that I did that as a friend, but I really hope people forgive me.
It's also just like the body wants what the body wants.
I know, and also like
it's not like you wanted to fall asleep.
I couldn't fight it.
Yeah.
I couldn't fight the feeling. And then not only that, it was like the jet lag would just come at random times.
Yeah, no, it's hard. You were traveling. You definitely, out of anyone, could have been the one sleeping.
And like, I'm kind of glad I slept those moments when I did, because I think that's why I was, able to survive.
I also think we need to talk about, you said day party.
Yeah.
And there's a term.
A darty.
Exactly. Okay, I was going to build up to it, but you just exploded.
Didn't I teach you darty?
You did. And it's not a thing here in Toronto, but we're trying to
make
make
In LA, they always
darty.
say it. Darty, like a day party.
I
love a dart. I love
a darty.
A darty. You know what it is? So there's nothing better than like day drinking, but then not being hungover because you like stop drinking.
You ease into the evening.
Great work.
A darty. A darty.
And then there's going to be darties this weekend as well because we're going to osheaga.
Yeah, for some reason the summer just keeps snowballing
it's
into
insane.
the biggest
I literally
party.
need to just keep drinking water and matcha.
Lots of hydration.
Like coffee, and that's
yeah, we're
keeping me
heading
alive.
up to a festival here in Canada. It's called Osheaga. It's probably like one of the biggest, like, in our area at least.
Yeah, I
Osheaga's
would say
pretty big.
in Canada is maybe now the biggest.
No, there's some big ones out west, I feel like.
Oh, maybe in
But
BC,
it's like,
you mean?
yeah, I think so.
But that's what I mean. It's like everyone knows of
Sure.
Osheaga, even the people at West. Like, I honestly do think it's the biggest one in Canada.
Okay, the biggest festival in Canada. So we're heading up just for fun. For like, what? Wait, do we leave tomorrow?
Yeah, somehow Jaclyn convinced me to drive to Montreal, which like
road trip.
That's gonna be super interesting.
Oh my God, I cannot believe this is tomorrow.
Yeah,
actually.
have you packed?
Not at all.
Do you know what you're wearing?
No. I haven't even thought about it actually.
Yeah, so get ready. And then, do we have our wristbands, by the way?
No. They're going to be there, actually. I was talking to...
I was like, we should probably work on that.
No, I followed up on that.
Cool.
That's all secured. But
So, anyways, this is our third
year
going together.
Yeah.
Last year, Jaclyn and I had the literal worst time. So this year is like, this is a fucking comeback year because that was just, we were working last year and...
It was really hot, to be fair.
I think really hot.
We were experiencing heat stroke.
And then we also
in
like
every
weren't,
sense.
like all of our friends, it's so annoying. Like this is the annoying thing in life when you want to have fun, but you know you have a job to do and the job is not, it's not going easily. Like everything we tried to do was just challenging and annoying and road bumps. And I was like, yo, I just need this to work out.
Well,
because all our friends were off having so much fun. And then every time we ran into everyone, they're like, yeah. And we're like, I fucking hate this. Like,
yeah, so this is our redemption year. We have no obligations. We're literally just going to have a good time, to enjoy some music. But now, this is the year that none of our friends are going. So we're going to bring the party to Montreal. I don't know anyone else who's going other than us.
And like our crew in our car, which is like my
3 of us.
boyfriend. And like, no, we're bringing his friend.
Oh, are we?
Siggy.
Oh, okay. Okay, so 4 of us are going.
And the girlfriend, Shay.
5 of us. Shay is coming too. I don't even know who this is. Like we're driving
Jaclyn's never met these people and they're going to be in a car ride together for 5 hours. Oh, did I not tell you that? Yeah.
No, but hey.
They're coming in the car.
Fun. But
yeah.
no, there's been a lot of, I feel like, iconic friendship memories
in
at
Montreal.
Osheaga.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some good ones.
Well, that is where the iconic I'm gonna blow quinoa story came from. That
true.
was the first year of
We were so
Osheaga.
drunk that night. Remember, it was like raining. Oh my God, there was one night we got so drunk at Osheaga, like 3 years ago, and Lord was on. Lord, do you not remember dancing to Lord? How do you not remember this?
No, I remember this night. I just don't know where you're going. Like,
that's the story.
Oh,
we just had so much
was,
fun.
No, it was
pouring rain, and we were like splashing around, and
well,
it was
we
the
were
best.
being fun because everyone else was like, "It's raining. This is so annoying."
And a lot of people were leaving.
Yeah, and we're like,
dude,
this
the heat
is
of
what
our
we're
drunkenness.
here for.
Yeah.
So we were like dancing and like having the best time. That was a great memory.
Yeah.
Lord needs a new album soon.
Yo, get fucking this.
Soon.
I literally forgot to tell you this.
What?
And this is gonna land on Poddy. Guess who was at the airport with Madison when we were leaving Vegas? Like, she walked by her.
Lord?
Yeah. No, I won't even say her name because I'll expose her, but the ex of my boyfriend.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
Wait, does Madison know?
Yes, and I think the ex knew that it was Madison because she like gave her darting eyes and like gave her a thing, and then Madison texted me right away and was like, "Yo, Adam's ex is here," and I was like, "No."
That is
died.
some tea.
I have never seen her like since. Like, I've never crossed paths with her. I'll just say like she's also in the industry. It feels weird that I haven't like crossed
surprised,
paths.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in all the years, but I mean hilarious.
Wait,
Hilarious.
speaking of, this is a full circle story.
Yes.
Do you know that I met her here?
No way.
Yes, in this building.
Wow.
People are going to try to figure out who this is, and they're never going to figure it out. But
whatever. We put it out there now.
Wow.
That's so funny. Anyways, back to
That's
Osheaga.
interesting.
I know that tea came to me.
I thought you were going to say Lord. I thought that's where you were going with that. You're like, we ran into Lord at the airport.
No,
Like,
that would have
would've
been so cool, but absolutely not.
She's someone that I would love to be friends with. Who's on your list of like, if I could just plop a friend and be like, I'm going to steal them? I mean, I know you're going to say Taylor Swift.
I knew. Yeah, I was going to say Taylor Swift. Everyone hates her. People were like, I got into a lot of debates in Vegas actually better because everyone was like talking shit. I'm like, this is so annoying. Like, let me love who I love.
Well, it's also like, I think you can respect people. Like, I respect her as a businesswoman so much. I don't know if we'd be friends in real life.
Totally.
But, I mean, obviously love her music. Had the best time at her concert
I
last
feel
year.
like we'd be friends with Miley. Like, I think we would just live it up with her for sure.
Miley. Miley. Yeah, no, Miley, I definitely
Like, I feel like she's just like such a good vibe and like fun.
I'm trying to think. It was always Miley and someone else was like, yeah, we'd be friends if I met them in real life. Maybe not then. Miley, though, for sure. We need a moment with Miley.
I'm like shocked I actually never met her. I know we talked about this on the pod.
It is
how
shocking,
Emily
though.
was on the show.
There's too many connections in your life
I
for you to
know.
not
Have
meet her.
met her. Very strange. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe we'll connect later in life.
We're getting Miley on the pod, guys. Could you imagine?
I think Leo. Can I speak?
Leo.
Oh my God. Speaking of Leo, did you see the new Tarantino movie?
No, and I know you saw it, and I need to see it.
Holy shit, guys! Like, do yourself a favor.
What's it called? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or Once
Upon a Time in Hollywood. I kept calling it a Cinderella story, and Adam was like very offended by that. But that was before I had actually seen the movie. Now I obviously know what it's called. But I went into the movie blind, which maybe honestly in retrospect I don't recommend doing because I didn't know a ton about like the Manson murders and like I didn't have a ton of background
Wait,
on.
is that what it's about?
Well, it's set in the time of that, if that makes sense. Like that's the backdrop of the story.
Okay.
And I didn't have, I would say, maybe enough understanding of what that world was looking like at that time. So I do recommend doing like maybe just a little Google search before going, just get that idea so you're not like totally shocked with where the story ends up going. But like honestly goes into my easily top 5 favorite movies. Like loved it. But like a real like cinematic piece, like if you love film, you will love it. But I could see like my friend Emily who like kind of not, she loves film, but like has no background in like cinema or like cinema studies or like, cause obviously I studied it in school, like that's what I love.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the movie, she was like, huh. Like I could see how if you're just a little bit like, I know you're kind of similar, like a little bit PG on how you like love movies. Like it's very like in the middle. Like you're not like consuming movies all the time. I could see you literally being like, that was the worst movie I've ever seen, which is kind of interesting. Like I could see how it could be polarizing, but I loved it. So, and so did my boyfriend. But then again, we're film nerds. So I'm like, maybe it makes sense that we loved it.
This is actually a movie that I've been wanting to see though, and I'm not a big movie person.
Well, I mean, Leo and Brad, whether or not you think the plot ends up being kind of crazy, like worth watching it for them. Yeah.
Well, you know what movie I was really excited that I saw? Did you see the new Lion King yet?
No, but I really want to go to that.
I would
I've
even
heard
watch that
really
again.
bad reviews. Like, did you hear
Who
there
said
was
that?
like literally
Who said that?
like literally
fight them right now.
literally Rotten Tomatoes results
Really?
were like shit ass. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe this was my problem. Obviously, I grew up like watching all these Disney movies, but I didn't really remember them. So like, I kind of forgot what Lion King was
plot?
about.
Are you
So I think I was really
joking?
just fascinated with the
Simba!
story.
Oh my god.
But I thought it was a great movie. Scar, hate that dude so much. He
well,
made me
the
so
thing
angry.
is, I love Donald Glover, so I feel like I'm gonna watch it just for him.
Yeah, and I mean Beyonce, like it's unreal.
No, totally.
The whole cast is incredible.
Ugh, wow.
And think about it this way: the Sahara is nice and warm toned. There's lots of reds.
yeah,
and
have you
warmth.
told our Poddy listeners that
I think they know about my cool
Jaclyn
tone.
hates cool tone blue movies? Like,
Yeah,
can you
'cause
imagine?
Aquaman.
Oh yeah, Aquaman was
Aquaman.
the OG. I was like, come to Aquaman with me, and she literally, her face dropped. She goes, "That's the bluest movie. I will never see it."
But this is why I was open to the Lion King. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna all be
Jeez.
warm tones because they're in the desert, like they're out in the
yeah,
Sahara.
yeah. That's
you know?
so crazy.
I loved it.
Wow.
Loved the warmth.
I'm thinking about lately, like, I saw this post that said, if you have nothing good to say, say nothing. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately because...
About me?
No, because
Oh.
I've realized, like, I sometimes just talk to hear myself speak, and I'm
That's what-
trying
you
to
realize-
literally be better.
That's the birth of this podcast.
I know.
But I just like to hear ourselves.
No, but I've
Speak
realized,
and-
like, how annoying that must be to other people. It's been coming off to me more and more lately. I'm like, I need to, like, go inside and, like, figure out, like...
No, people hate us.
No, I know. And I'm like, I need to work on this. Like,
Yeah.
I need to, like, say less or just say more with, you know, conviction.
No, constructive criticism sometimes can be helpful, but then it's also like how much criticism do you adapt and change your
I
personality
know.
to? It's like, I'm just doing me.
Well, that's true. I've
But
thought
I
about
also
it like
think there is
that way
value.
too, because I'm like, yeah, like that's just you
Don't
know,
dull
who
my
both of
sparkle.
Well, yeah, it's like that's who
Yeah.
both of us are, and like I had an experience recently where like I was being extroverted and being all this like my regular old self, and like this girl came back with like such negative feedback behind my back about you know how I basically stole the attention.
Can we dive into this deeper?
Well, I don't want to like call her out, but it made me reflect because it made me so uncomfortable because I thought, oh wow, you like literally were just offended that I was being myself.
That's almost worse too. It's
It is
better
almost
if you're putting
worse.
on a show and someone's like, okay, you're being annoying, stop. You're like, okay, well I was.
You're like fine. I was like over.
But if you're not even consciously
no, I
thinking
know.
about
If I'm
something-
just being my
Yeah.
extroverted self and someone goes, oh, like she totally stole the show, like stole all the attention, like.
Right.
And then I'm like, well, one, yeah, I don't want to dull my sparkle, so like, sorry. But
Live,
then
laugh, love.
two, like. Oh, #awkward, like I was literally just being myself and you are offended that I have like this outgoing personality.
It's also like I can't change. Like that's just who I am.
No,
So you just
totally.
need to go away.
But
then.
I've also just realized in big groups, like I was in Vegas with like all the girls that are not my close friends, and all of our close friends are the same. But I think that's
Yeah.
why we surround ourselves with those people, which I'm also starting to realize. It's like I surround myself with people that like meet my level of sparkle. Same with you.
Can
you know
we
what I
stop
mean?
saying? I said that
Sparkle.
ironically, and now we're like, yeah, they're dulling our sparkles. Jesus.
I don't mean it like that. I just mean like
No.
I mean energy. Like it's like if we're crazy, like we love being around our crazy friends. Like, I
Right.
can't imagine your neighbors last night. There was like 4 of us, all our close friends, like hanging out, like
Yeah.
screaming, like literally just like yelling.
Yeah, it is true. When you're all at the same level, though, you don't find each other annoying because it's all just an
Right.
extension of you.
Exactly. So you're already like there and you
Right.
get it. But then I was
Right.
even thinking in Vegas, like after I'd had that awkward run-in with the other girl that didn't like my energy, like I felt myself being like, oh, maybe I should pull back. I'm in this big group of girls. Like maybe I'll be more like.
Wait, so did you?
I mean, I still think I like talked their ear off, but it's weird that it has become conscious to me.
I know what you mean, though, because, Kate, so do you remember that time I was out with, when you bailed out on Camille's
Oh yes.
dinner, and we were going with her group of friends.
Yeah,
I
this
didn't
was
know
like
any of them.
this is like one of my good friends, and then I unfortunately had this work obligation. So, but Jaclyn was already looped into the dinner,
And I didn't know anyone, and I was like, I can't bail out now. That looks
right?
so
Because
rude.
I had bailed. So then
Right.
Jack's like, I'll just go. It's fine. And like again, like we don't care to like meet new people. Like that's.
But I
not,
also know what you're saying, in the sense that when I am like thrown into a new situation, like I
Yes.
for some reason take it upon myself to be like, okay, I'm the one that's gonna make sure everyone has a great time.
I
and I'm gonna put on a show.
know,
And we chat about this all the
totally.
time, actually. And it's not something I actively sit there. I'm like, okay, I
Consciously.
need to go in there and do this and be funny and start making jokes and like
I know,
whatever.
but we
it's just
do
what
it.
happens. I
I
go and I'm like, hey girls, I'm like,
know. It's like a
maybe
whole
it's just how I
thing.
like make friends / like maybe it is a weird like deep-rooted ego thing. And I'm like, I need
to
like...
But that's what I'm trying to get at is like, I can't pinpoint if it is an ego thing, because then I'm like, but I've always been like that.
I think it's a true extroverted thing.
I know, it's like, I don't even mean to be annoying. It's like, I just need to speak and be loud and like...
You're sitting there trying to like not say anything. You're like, hi.
Honestly, last night when we were sitting in a circle, you and I were like talking over, I thought about it after, it's like, we're just like, like we like have so much to say and we can't even let each other get a word out.
Did you see the comments on our podcast?
No.
I was going through them. I don't know if you ever go through the YouTube comments, but I was just kind of catching up and replying to some.
Yeah.
And there was comments that were like, Torri, let Jaclyn speak for the love of God. And I'm replying, I'm like, yeah, thank you. Let Jaclyn speak.
Oh my God.
But
so sad.
No, but on the episode before,
even
it would have been
the followers hate me. So
no, I'm not
sad.
saying it because of that, but I'm saying even the episode prior, then people say the reverse. We're like, oh my God, Jaclyn, let Torri speak.
Right.
We're the same way. We just are so
but
like.
it's funny because I don't get offended by it.
Oh, me either.
I think I've always actually cut people off. It's something I need to work on. Like I'll just cut people off in sentences when I feel like I have something better to say. You know what I mean?
You're just like silence them. I'll just talk louder. I can't hear you.
That's literally, and I'm realizing it's just like
rude.
Like the foundation of it is just fucking rude. It's honestly so rude. And it's disrespectful, and it makes it seem like I don't care what the other person's saying, but that's not the case. I honestly just, it's such a, like, when something is on my brain, I'm like, oh, I gotta get it out.
Well, you know what? That's something I consciously work at, too. Especially, Kate, so whenever I was doing interviews for work and, like, whatever we have a guest, I'm very conscious to not hop over their, like, what they're saying, because I used to be very, talk over other people, which is obviously so bad, especially to do as a host. So I would watch it back and be like, wow, I need to stop doing that. But do you want to know where I pinpointed, or how I pinpointed where that was coming from? Was because I get so excited when I talk to people, because like what you were saying, if you're a true extrovert, like you just love meeting new people and sharing stories. So it's almost like they'll say something that'll be like, oh my God, yeah, me too, and like you relate to it, or you want to like give them
relatability.
feedback.
Yeah,
totally. So I'll hop into it and be like, and add whatever, my 2 cents, which maybe isn't necessary.
Right.
But it's just like an instinctual thing. Like when you start sharing an exciting story, I'm like, oh my God, well listen to this happen too. Like that's how I engage with people when I talk.
Me too.
But it is, again, a problem, because then that person feels undervalued when you cut them off.
Right, like then they're like, why is Torri
but that's not what you're
Jaclyn
doing
always cutting me off?
You're just trying to like get into the conversation with them.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually what I'm now even just saying this out loud, it makes me realize maybe I'm just a bad listener. No, honestly, like now that I'm thinking about it like that, it's like maybe I'm just not listening.
You're just, well, that's the thing though.
You know what I mean?
You're just thinking of how you can talk about the story in your own
in your own way. Which is so selfish. Oh my God, we must change.
We're selfish.
Or maybe not change, but like I do think it's a conscious thing that I should be aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just thought the Poddy listeners need to know that I'm working on it.
We're working on it. I'll try. I say the same thing but louder. Yeah, we're working on it. Just thought the Poddy listeners should know.
I fucking love doing that. Like when people say something.
You get the joke, say it louder.
You get the joke and just say it louder.
You actually do that all the time.
I know.
I'll like whisper something under my breath and she'll say it. I have no idea what the context is, but then get the laughs. I'm like, Torri.
I mean, clearly we're here to fight for the spotlight, so.
Like we just like slowly like center ourselves in the middle of the frame. Push the other one out.
Yeah, that's so funny. I mean, but yeah, it goes back to what we were saying.
I'm sweating again.
Are you? The lights.
The hot coffee and the lights.
Right. It goes back to what we were saying of, and I think it's even more, a thing as you get older. You don't want to be around people that are not similar to you. It's so strange. Like, do you have even one friend that you would say, oh my God, polar opposite of me?
True. No, you're right. I think you become friends with people because there are similarities.
Yeah.
In some ways, I would almost like to challenge that and be like, oh, I would want to be friends with people that are somewhat different from me, so that way you have like varying perspectives.
No, I would want it. I'm just saying my brain doesn't let me, / I end up not liking them because I feel like there's a lacking in relatability. It's like, you don't get me,
totally. And no, I would argue the same thing. A lot of my friends, I would say there are so many, if we had like a Venn diagram, there's so many overlaps versus the outliers. Like
even Courtney. Like Courtney's so similar to us. Like it's like you spend a day, it's like, it feels like I've known her for 10 years. Like you automatically feel like even my friends to you that you've met and your friends to me that I've met, it's like, there's such a natural cohesion.
And that's why I've always said this since day one. I've never been someone who likes to like separate my friends. Like I know also people that'll be like, oh, I have my school friends, I have my work friends, I
don't
whatever.
do that either.
I'm always a big like melting pot of like everything.
Totally.
And that's why I think it works though, because all of our friends, they can get along so easily because we're all so similar. So that's 100%. Why I don't think a lot of people could make it work, but
No.
Our friends make it work.
It works. And
No,
like
it
we know
does.
these people from so many different walks of life, and somehow it all makes sense. Well, even last night we were chatting about how one of our other friends, Megan, is like such a connector. Like she's someone that goes through an industry and is able to basically find the perfect people that would meld. And she said something cool. It was like, she was like, there's two types. Like there's the purple that just does it for like the weehoo, like I connected you guys like for their own clout.
Right.
Or there's the person that's going to connect you because they see value in that relationship being made.
And it's fulfilling to genuinely make those connections.
100%. And I feel like that's so true because there are those people in life that you know are only introducing you to that person because they're like, oh, she'll thank me later. Like, you owe me something now because I've made this connection for you. Versus the person that's like, oh, here's the contact. Like, hope something good happens for you because of this. Like, you know, like, I've never had a problem connecting people. Like, I think it's so great.
And I was going to say, I've only seen...
You were actually, like, one of the first people that I would say was, like, extremely gracious with that. Like, as a connector. Like, you were like, oh, like, I think one of the first times we met, I was, like, talking about fake tan, and you're like, oh, I, like, have a great contact for you, and, like, literally just shared it. And I was like, wait, that's, like, so nice of her. Like, she really didn't have to do that.
You want to know who taught me that? I have to give a shout-out to Marissa Roy, because she was one of the first people that I met, actually, in this whole, like, industry, because I maybe had my YouTube channel for, like, barely a year at this point.
Yeah.
And Megan was the one reason, and Marissa, and ironically, Megan's who brought me together to Marissa, so it's all interconnected. But anyways, I was at this event, I didn't know anyone, and it was like one of those like beauty con kind of situations. And this other girl who was there with the brand that I was there with was like, hey, like I'm Marissa. She was super extroverted and like, you know, so confident. And I was like, whoa, who is this? Like,
she's also a glamazon.
And like has the best fierce makeup.
Yeah, like looks like she's walking off a runway at any given time.
No, and I was totally like, oh my God, like who is this cool person? Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was like 17. I was so awkward. Like I had.
Oh yeah, because she's also a bit older than us.
And I just felt like such a noob and like so underqualified in every sense.
Yeah.
And she was the most gracious person in the sense that we got chatting, same kind of thing though. And she was like, oh my God, do you not know so-and-so? I would love to connect you. Here, give me your email right now. Literally start shooting out emails.
Crazy nice. It makes you realize like how nice it is. Like even when you did it to me, I was like, oh, I would always do that for someone.
But that's now why I do it, because I remember how
it felt.
Totally.
Yeah.
And also Marissa said something, and this is honestly, I will take this with me for forever. She goes, this is a type of industry that there is room for everyone here.
It's so true.
And there is no need to be like greedy or competitive, because there truly is room for everyone. And it was such a perspective switch, because growing up acting, you're auditioning for this one role.
And
one girl's
only
gonna get it.
one girl's gonna get it.
Totally. And there's 20 other girls that look exactly like you, and you're fighting for it.
Like there's so many campaigns, there's so many brands, there's so much access to so much. You're so right. Like we do not have to be fighting for the spotlight. Going back to us not fighting for the spotlight.
And this might be like me taking things a little too seriously, but like I feel like there are so many industries and so many avenues where females just
hate each other.
Yes. And this is, at least in my experience so far,
it's been
majority of it has been so amazing.
I would agree. I would actually agree.
But it's because of people like her who set that tone. And
no, it's so true.
I truly was so taken aback in the best way. And that is how I try to be now.
No, it's so true.
So shouts out to you, Marissa Roy, for that
shouts
one.
out.
But
and
it was
also,
truly so like, it was pivotal.
Yeah. Pivotal. It also just makes you so grateful for the people that have done it for you, and then you will be the person to do that for someone else, which is so nice.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like kind of set the tone and hopefully like further the industry and keep those good vibes rolling, you know?
Rolling.
That's crazy. Wow.
Speaking of good vibes, Torri picked me up today and had a nice hot coffee.
Wow.
And that is the true business partner I need.
Wow.
This actually really revived me, so huge thanks.
Of course. I stopped. You know what it fucking is? I literally hate the lines at Starbucks, and I know that there's like
a drive-through Starbucks.
No, just the one in my neighborhood. But I stopped and I went in, and like I understand their drinks like take a while to make because they're like heating them up and stuff. I can genuinely tell you, I think I waited there for 15 minutes.
Oh God, really?
Maybe 10, but like a good solid minute. And there was like a lot of people. And I know they do the like lines, like the like, you know, you can order online.
Yeah,
and
the
then
mobile.
pick up.
Yeah.
That is too much for me.
Oh, see that I've been doing that lately.
Maybe I should. Like maybe I should just get on board, because I've realized waiting for like a hot coffee, I just get so impatient.
You also will feel really good if you do the mobile order and then you see it sitting there. So when you walk in, you just like
grab
and
it,
then you just leave, and you feel like you're stealing it. But you're like, I swear I paid on the app, but like it feels weird.
Couldn't someone literally like not to be like dramatic, but like steal a coffee.
Yeah, but people could do that anyways. They go, for Cheryl, and then someone goes, I'm Cheryl. Like, people could be stealing it anyways.
Starbucks has weird security.
No, but also, it's like, who's stealing coffees? Is that do you think that's a big problem at Starbucks?
I mean, I've never thought about it until right now, but like, you're telling me once a day a coffee doesn't get stolen?
I'm sure if it's sitting there and it's been like on call for a while, and they're like, Tina, we have the soy latte for Tina, and Tina's not picking it up. I'm sure someone goes, I'm Tina, here, I'll take it.
Fair.
Because really, what's the verification on this process? Nothing.
So interesting.
So Tina, if you're stealing lattes, we're on to you.
Would you ever want to work at Starbucks? Like, you know how people have like a dream job at, my dream.
Gordon Ramsay's sous chef.
I always wanted to work at Aritzia. That was my dream.
Because I wanted the discount at Aritzia.
Well, I wanted the discount, and I also wanted, like, I don't know what it was, but I wanted to be able to, like, work a cashier and, like, fold the clothes. Like, something about it to me was, like, the dream, and I always wanted to do it when I was, like, in high school, but that's when I was filming Life with Boys. My dad was like,
you're not working at Aritzia.
Yeah, you don't need a retail job. So I never, like, ended up working, like, not a regular job, because I totally had internships and other, like, you know, Joe jobs and whatever it might be, but it wasn't like retail or anything like that. I know you had kind of a great experience working in retail.
Yeah, I've always said this. I think everyone should either work in the service industry, which I haven't, or retail at least.
I think you just learn so much about customer service and like being nice to people.
No, and I was like 15, 16, and it was like such it really, I feel like, helped develop not only my people skills, but also just gave me a lot of insight to things. Even now in business, I'm like, it really changed my perspective in such a positive way.
Totally.
And I don't want to say like it gives you way more respect for people that are doing those types of jobs, but it really does, because you're like, hey, I was there.
Oh my God,
I get the struggle.
It's the same thing about like tipping. Like when people, I have friends that don't tip properly, and that gives me major anxiety, because you know these people have been on their feet for like 10 hours. Like, I'm not saying you have to like give 25%, but like a solid like 18 or 20%. Like, I just think it's so necessary. I know it's also like a cultural thing, because in different countries and different places, like, it's so strange to me, because when we were in Paris, Adam and I were just tipping on everything. Like, that's just our customary. Like, that's our, wait, that's not a word.
Customary?
No, that's our customs here. Like, the customs here in Canada are to tip.
Aligned.
In North America,
yes,
across the board, you're going to tip for a service. Whether that's spa or whether that's a food, you're going to tip. So then in Paris, I go and I'm eating dinner, and I go to tip, and I leave all this cash, and we were like 4 days into our trip, and I leave the cash, and then she brought the cash back, like my change. And I said, oh no, you keep it, like you normally would. And she goes, oh, you guys are so sweet. Like, I should let you know, like, in Paris, like, there is no tipping. Like, she goes, I know you're tourists. Like, that's really nice, but, like, don't be tipping everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch. And
I was like, bitch.
I was 5 days into this trip. I had probably spent upwards of, like, 300 euros just tipping, like, on lunches and dinners. And I'm like, Jesus, someone could not have told me that.
And they're just taking
I learned my lesson, though. Well, yeah, because if you're going to leave it and you're a tourist, I mean, hey, I would
dumb.
keep it too.
Exactly.
It's your own, you know,
like these stupid Americans.
Yeah, it's your own ignorance. But I realized, like, when I was traveling later, like when I went to Asia and when I went to all these places, I started Googling about
what the standards were.
Well, just because you obviously are just going to go with what you're used to and your instincts. Sure. And I just feel genuinely awkward when I don't tip. Like, whether I'm in Paris or, like, I mean, even settings like in PR, you know how sometimes we'll get free services? Like, I feel so awkward when someone has done a service for me.
Well, it's also like, why, since I'm coming in for a complimentary treatment, why are you getting gypped for it? Like,
well, exactly.
I always feel so bad for the individual.
I always feel so bad. I know, like, you and I have talked about it. Like, well, like, make sure we, like, ask and confirm.
Yeah, like, are they gonna
make sure the brands are, like giving the person at least, like, a 20%, like, service tip or, like, whatever. But, like, it makes me highly uncomfortable.
You know what's crazy? I was watching a video about, like, just, again, how North America is such a tipping culture, and it truly is so unfortunate because, because
then there's the flip of it, and people are so expectant. Like, do you know what I mean? There's my side of it where it's like, oh my God, thank you for the service, great, whatever. But I will say there is sort of this negative vibe in the service industry that, like, even if my service is like shit, that I still have to give you 20%. And I think, oh, are you gonna sneeze? And I think that's really hard because you look really stressed. Do you have to sneeze?
Yeah, it's like passing though.
Okay.
You know when it like hurts? Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'm back.
But there's like this expectancy, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm also paying for what I'm getting. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, no, this is my thing. So this is the situation. I feel like tipping should just be not a thing. Not in the sense that people should not be getting paid for it more, but
it should be attached to the minimum wage.
Ferme la bouche.
Sorry.
It's okay. But no, I think what needs to happen is people, like CEOs of company, big change makers, whatever, they need to be the ones, or business owners, that change the way it works in North America, and the minimum wage should be reflective of what they deserve to be paid for the work. There should be no tipping.
I agree.
Like, if someone does bad service, then fire. They're not working there. Like, they should not be hired if they're not performing at the standard.
I agree.
It's like there's an expectation. This is what they deserve. Like, fair wages need to be a thing. And if someone, and I agree, with the current minimum wage
is way too low
and
for people.
with no tips, is you cannot survive on that. That makes no sense. But it needs to be these businesses that are paying fair and adequate wages for the work that's being provided.
It's true.
Because it's not fair. It doesn't matter. I don't care if Sally does an amazing job waiting my table. If she has awful customers she's serving, like, why is that her fault that they're not tipping her when she's performing outstanding service?
It's so
like,
true.
It's so unfortunate. And then who is at the fault continually? It's these individuals, these waitresses, these servers, whatever. And it's not their fault. And then these businesses are laughing,
it's so
making
true.
their cash while all of their employees are suffering. So I think tipping should not be a thing at all. People should be paid fair wages for the services that they're providing.
Even just from
in general.
I think that's very true. And I think from an expense perspective, it's interesting because your bill, like, not doubles, that's insane, but it does significantly affect what you end up paying at the end of the day. Like, it's expensive for people to go out for dinner because in Canada, if you're tipping adequately, that's 18 or 20% on everything you've just eaten.
Totally.
And it's significant. Like, that is a big chunk of cash. And I think that's so interesting, and like, it's kind of crazy to me when I see like lumps of people, even on like King West in Toronto, like patio hopping and eating and drinking and living their best life. And I'm like, what are the jobs that all these people have? Because it is not cheap to be, I mean, I guess they might have expense accounts, who knows? But I mean, it's not cheap. It's not cheap out here, kids.
We even had, like, when we had our weekend in New York, like, I look back, I was like, whoa, we blew a lot of money in 4 days. How do people do that every single
That's what I'm thinking.
night or every day? And no, it's crazy. But I just think that amount, even if it is, if you still want us to be paying the same amount, just work that 20% into the actual cost of the meal. Like, you know?
I kind of agree.
Like, make everything more expensive to account for the tip. Like,
right. Like,
it's
I
not
do
about
think
the
there's
actual
a
money,
better
but
way
it's like
around it. Because then
to
at least
support
at
the
least
actual
then
servers.
the servers are guaranteed
That's what I'm
that
saying.
money. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They need a standardized.
The thing that stresses me out is what you're saying is there's no guarantee.
Yeah. Wow,
Damn.
hearts go out. That it does. It sucks. It really sucks.
It does suck.
But if you are working in the service industry,
We love you.
We love you so much. Push through. You are gaining so many skills.
You are.
And because learning how to bite your tongue when you have a crazy customer is
Kenzie
such a
is
skill.
so good at that. We have a friend, Kenz, who bartended for so long.
On a good smile.
Oh my God, she's so good at it. And I think it reflects in her personality.
Yeah, that's the thing. You need to like step back, take a deep breath. But it's hard to do when you're dealing with ignorant. Oh my God.
Rude.
I
like,
cannot imagine.
Misogynistic. Like, just, oh my God.
No.
I can't.
Wow. How do you change that? Is it something like the government needs to like put up? I have no idea. I might sound completely uneducated right now. Like how tipping and all of that works. Like who controls all of that?
Yeah, the government. Yeah.
The government, we're coming after you. That's crazy. Oh my God. Okay, now I'm like getting upset and heated.
I know, I'm so sorry, but I think it's exciting times. It's roses and thorns.
Roses and thorns. Okay, a rose for today was this coffee. That was so sweet of you to just.
You're so welcome.
It was really nice. Oh, I forgot to do my thorn first. I should do that first. A thorn was, I told myself this morning, I was like, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to put on makeup and like get ready, and then.
No, you didn't.
I did clean my house this morning, so that's another rose.
That's good.
And then rosebud, something I'm looking forward to is I'm going to the doctor's today to get my allergy test. So I'm looking forward to finding out what I actually am chronically allergic to.
Right. No, but is this for checking in on your
stroke
situation?
Okay, the weird stroke.
Wait, so they're calling it an allergy thing?
No, I'm also going to ask for an allergy test.
Interesting. Can you ask your doctor if I can switch to her?
Hey, by the way, my friend wants to
ask just if she's taking new patients. I actually need a doctor.
You would love her.
I would love that. Okay, cool.
What about you?
Thorn is, like, honestly, my liver is suffering. Like, I just, I'm done. I'm done for a while. No more drinking for Torri.
We're going to Montreal.
No, I might wait for Torricella, honestly. I might do a bit of a cleanse. We'll see.
I could be with you on that.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, I do have a bit of work I gotta do in Montreal, so I'm like, I might just push through.
And we have 14K to run on the Saturday.
Which I think we should do.
I agree.
Right, okay.
Aligned.
So my liver is getting a break. That's great. And a rose is, oh my God. So when I was a intern at here at Bell, I worked really closely with the audience coordinator. His name was Derek. And he is just a rose. Like, he's been running in and out of our studio.
He started it off the podcast when
He's so funny. Oh yeah, Derek was already in it when he was sashaying away. But we're trying to get access to go to a taping of another show. And
Love Island. They'll know what Love Island is.
Yeah, Love Island. And then he goes, oh my God, I literally offered this to you a couple weeks ago and you turned me down. He's like, it's already sold out, but he's trying to get us in. So hopefully the rose will be that we'll get to go next week to the final taping.
We'll see.
And then Rosebud. I'm looking forward to my birthday. I can't believe it's coming up so soon.
You like birthdays. You get excited about them, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I know you hate them.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting.
I like other people's birthdays.
Yeah, like, it's funny. I think in the past, like 3 years ago is when I hit rock bottom on my birthday. That birthday was so fucked up. It was so bad. I just was like overworked and exhausted and like so bad. And like, it's funny, that rock bottom, like burnout, I think I learned a lot about myself. And like every year since, I'm just like so conscious about not burning out before my birthday.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, like just do what you gotta do, but don't overexert.
Right.
So it's really interesting to me. And it's always like right near festival time. Like my birthday just falls right in smack down in the busiest time of the year in August. So it's just so interesting now that I'm like managing. I just like booked a spa for my birthday this year, like day of, just like going to the spa.
Full day?
Well, like afternoon, like just 2 services, like just gonna like lock myself in a room and like
Gonna do a
chill.
nice dinner and like have a nice day.
Yeah, I think I might even just do dinner like just with Adam because I'm gonna do my family one the day after.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to like have a chill. I mean, after Torricella,
So wait, I was
gonna
gonna say, are you doing it before we go away or after?
No, like my actual birthday's the Monday.
Oh wait, it is?
Yeah, I know.
Fake friend.
No, it's fine.
Wait, that works out perfect then.
Yeah, it kind of does
birthday's
because
like a
that means I'm like
recovery.
driving home on the Sunday, but then I'll wake up like fresh on my birthday, which is nice.
Why was I thinking it was the Sunday?
Because last year it was the Sunday, but it switches every year. Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I don't know if you know how a calendar works, you fucking idiot.
I mean, it wasn't saying it in a passive aggressive way.
No, it was fine. I just took it.
Why do you hate your birthday? You're always so like underwhelmed.
Okay, so this is because every December I think I fall into seasonal depression. So just
Oh,
December
because
in
your
general,
birthday falls in a bad month.
it's so dark and gloomy here. I am miserable. And then birthdays also make me like nostalgic, but also like
sad.
kind of.
Like you're getting older.
Well, yeah, not even sad about getting older, but it just makes me like very reflective and like.
Interesting.
And then I get in my head and I get like really down.
Yeah, like we were like very low key at your birthday last
I know.
year.
So I haven't actually navigated what the move is. If I try to
What
like
makes you
pretend
happy,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if I like to have a big celebration and like and do the
And
big
embrace
because I
it.
grew up always doing big birthday parties.
Right.
But now I'm
But
like.
then the dinner we did like even 2 years ago,
Yeah.
you weren't really thrilled with that either.
I don't know exactly. I still don't know where I stand on my birthday situation, but I'm always down
I
for
think
another
we need
birthday.
to do a Jackchella.
A Jack Jackchella.
Jackchella.
Jackchella. We'll work on it. You know what? I do want to do this year. I think I want to do like a Blue
Jackie
Mountain.
Palooza.
Wait, that's good. I like that.
Jackie Palooza.
Jackie Palooza.
Let's do it.
Like a nice.
Oh, and we should go to Blue
That's
Mountain.
what I was gonna say. Do like a snowboarding getaway. I think that would bring me
Wait,
happiness.
that's what we should do for your birthday this
Okay,
year.
but this is the only problem.
What?
I love all my friends, but I only have about one friend that actually that
Can
properly snowboard
snowboard.
with me. Exactly.
But that doesn't
But the
mean we
whole
couldn't
chalet,
have everyone up there.
exactly.
I'll chalet and chill, and you
And
guys
spa,
can do that.
no,
And actually, I
exactly.
kept up with you guys the other
No,
year.
you can
I
ski good.
I'm
Exactly.
like, okay.
No, you're
I
good.
pizza down. I'm fine. I'm like
yeah.
strangely good, even though I've never skied.
Well, that's the thing. You actually like
Could be a good skier.
Yeah, I thought you would be actually way worse, and you survived.
I was just like
with flying
strangely
cars.
okay.
Yeah.
I think
So
it's
maybe
because I have
that's
good
the-
balance. I always have.
Yeah, I know. I'm an actor. I'll just pretend to be a good skier.
I'm an actor. I don't know if you guys remember that throwback. What episode was that? I'm like,
I quote
that
it
was
so
hilarious.
One of these episodes, our first podcast, she was talking about that. She's like, I'm an actor. I'll just whatever. And
I
we say
forget.
that all the
It's so
time now.
funny.
Whenever you do anything.
I love things that are
you're an
birthed from
actor.
Poddy. Love that energy. Well, thanks for watching. Poddy Talk, the podcast where we shit talk ourselves.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Tor.
Tor,
At the end of the last episode, I made the weirdest sound. I was like, oh! Do you remember that? And I was like, what is that sound?
We need to stop ending it like this.
I was like,
Because I was like, oh, we have new mics. You're like, new mics, I'm like,
yeah, are you guys
what are
liking
you
these
doing?
new microphones?
Stop that. You're going to get
No, I think they're going to love it.
Guys, I so hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, we're going to have to turn the volume down on that.
Yeah, we're going to be peaking all of the
All right,
audio
babies.
levels.
See you next time.
Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Love sharing this lifetime of knowledge.
I got a lifetime of knowledge.
I love She's the Man. It's actually my favorite movie.
You are
of
Amanda
all time.
Bynes.
I thank you so much.